This is Zach Nager. Welcome to The Art of Consequence, hosted by Wally Schnally. An uncut exposition of Scotch Freeze, improvised creation of Burn the Ships. Nothing rehearsed, nothing removed. This is where art meets consequence.
We can
I like
clean that up in post.
Huh?
We can clean that up
No,
in
there's
post.
no post.
That's great.
Post. The only thing in post is Meek You. That's about it.
I think I remember you played one thing that sounded cool. Oh wait, no.
But now that I think about it, no, that was a different guy. Oh, that was me.
One thing.
Oh, that was me.
There was one thing I kind of liked.
I don't know what I was thinking. Sorry.
I like that.
Oh, maybe that was the one thing to play along to.
That was
And actually, I didn't really play it. I just kind of moved forward on the pedal.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It is the pedal. I like that pedal.
It's all the little nuanced stuff I like. I love all that stuff.
I feel like also when what we're doing, there's always like a million missed opportunities. Like,
Yeah.
I listen to it now and I'm like, oh, I could have done something like that. That would have been cool right then. But
Should have rehearsed.
yeah,
Good point.
yeah, let's really get this stuff dialed in.
Write it
yeah.
out.
That would be nice. No, it's like,
Yeah, Jaden's awesome. One thing I love about playing with Jaden is, because I think it's because he knows us, and he knows he can push us around a little bit.
Right.
So we'll be doing something, and maybe it gets stale, and he'll just throw a
Yeah.
curveball to us, and it's challenging in the moment,
Right.
but I really appreciate that because it forces us into like, okay, we don't need to do the same
That's what I
thing.
felt like when you did some things and then got into double time. You were, like I said, more stream of consciousness at the beginning, but then we started doing those things. You just got into a little cycle that was
Yeah.
supported by what he was doing. Right?
yeah. He's kind of the boss a lot of times, but
Well, we would, drummers would know.
so, but I try to listen and then go along with it. And he's always pushing things a little bit one way or the other.
Right.
And so as long as I'm listening, I can kind of, and then with what he's playing, just find, and it's a feel thing for me. It's all
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like, okay, what feels right here. And
You can't be
then
thinking too much.
try it. Yeah, you can't think too much because, yeah, it's no good if you do.
There's moments, I wonder if you guys feel this when you're playing. It's like sometimes I'll play a gig and somebody comes up to me and says, "That was a killer solo." Well, and what were you thinking of? And when I do pull off a good one, if I think what was going on in my head, nothing. It's just a black hole,
Yeah.
right? It's just the music is happening, right?
Yeah.
And that can happen in a group thing with you guys, right?
Yeah.
I think that for me personally, this is like the best environment for me because I'm not good at planning and I'm not good at like, oh, I want to practice for this thing. I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
But this kind of music is like right now.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever is happening right now is what I'm focused on. And I kind of don't care what just happened and I kind of don't care where we're going. But right now I can focus on this.
Yeah.
And for me, everything I do is about planning. I'm like, it's got to cross the T, dot the I, it's got to be organized, compartmentalized. But when we do this, it's almost like facing your fear in a way. It's like, no, we're just going to do something I'm not, comfortable doing. And I like that uncomfortable setting because what you get out of it is
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
And when you said about being comfortable, I mean, I know a lot of, or met a lot of musicians over the years that, like play jazz and improvisational music and such, right? And they're like, how can you do that? They want the parts like playing a Broadway show or a cover band. And I've had students in the past in a cover band. They're like, can you show me this fill in the third verse? I'm like, no, your fill, right?
What fill?
Don't do that.
Yeah.
It was the result of being right there at that moment.
That guy had to
in that
improvise it,
time.
yeah, right? Yeah. With Billy Cobb years ago, I transcribed some of the stuff. I used to do that for Drum Magazine, transcribe it, and I showed it to him in an interview, and he goes, "What do you want to do with that?" I can't play that. Right?
What you played.
But he improvised it, yeah. So yeah, and you're talking about he's the boss, That is the thing, we as drummers, have a lot of power, right? We can change it up, like on double time or bringing the volume down, and in those instances when you do that, if these guys are not paying attention, they just keep steamroll forward.
Yeah.
They sound wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then it'd be sensitive.
I think it's kind of cool about this group too. The instrumentation, bass, drums, guitar. Each of us kind of has a level of power
right.
to insist on something or to kind of force, like Andrew, like if we're doing this, Andrew can force a key change,
Yeah.
which is going to change everything about how I'm thinking about what I'm playing. It's going to change
Right.
that, like we can all,
And you respect each other, so
Yeah.
that works. Yeah.
and it is talking about like remembering what you were doing at a certain time. I think of it as a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And someone says, "Oh, what were the exact words you used when you were talking about that?" No one has any idea what words they used in a
Right.
conversation. It was the idea.
Yeah.
The idea was key, and sharing it, and then everyone reacting to it. Like, the specifics of the thing are really lost.
Right.
Yeah.
That's I just remember a story that again Billy Cobham. I interviewed him for. He was one of the drummers on Bitches Brew with Miles Davis, right? And so he said he got a call from Miles like on I don't know, it was a Tuesday night or something. Like, come down to the studio, we're gonna play, right? He goes down there and I think they jammed in his basement the first time, and then they were just open jams, just like kind of what you guys
Yeah.
do. And then so he calls it back. He goes, "Okay, be in the studio Monday, like a week later or something. We're gonna record." He goes, "Remember the stuff you did on Tuesday? Do that." That's true. I can't do that. You know.
Joe and I had an opportunity to play with an orchestra for 4 months, 5 months, something like that. And they were all classically trained musicians.
Charts.
Right? They had charts.
Yeah.
And Joe and I are pretending to read charts. Because we come from the band world, but we sat in with an orchestra and it was a really cool experience. But those two worlds colliding, it was an interesting dynamic because those classically trained artists could not figure out, because we would be leaving that and good to go play a gig or come here and record. And they'd be like, "What are you guys doing?" "Oh, we're going to go cut an album. It's going to be all improv." And what do you mean? Like, there's no charts? You're not, no, there's nothing. We're just going to play.
Two different worlds. Yeah.
They could not wrap their head around that.
Yeah.
A couple of them,
Yeah.
at least one of them, like literally had no, like the idea of making something up on the fly had never occurred to them.
Right.
Russian trained classical
Right.
pianist,
Yeah.
absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay, jump in with this band that's vamping on a thing. Jump in, not a clue. He starts playing this other figure from this other.
Yeah. Something new.
But yeah,
Yeah.
like, and it, again, not better, not worse, just different.
It's different.
But it was a eye opener about the how some people need that, and they're awesome.
Yeah,
but it's
but I'm not good at that either. I had a revelation like that years ago when San Jose Symphony was still around before they went under. They used to call me for some Pops concerts and drum set. I remember I was at the Flint Center, and actually I was being lame because the singers were doing this cabaret and Evita and all these different things, right? And Evita had this fills in this big part, and I was trying to read them. Because they're all syncopated 16th notes, and I kind of was sucking at it, right? The conductor said, you don't have to play those, right? And I'm like, yeah. But then I looked down because I was on a riser in the back, and I'm like looking at 80 musicians.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, they all have to play exactly what's on the paper, and I get to put some of me in it. And then I'm like, what freedom and what responsibility.
Totally,
Because
right,
you got
yeah.
to do the right ones. You got to
Yeah.
go nuts on it, right?
Yeah.
So, it's just, it's two different worlds. Although, I've played with some symphonic musicians that are great jazzers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
But,
for sure.
but just,
and I should say some of them were very good at like crossing over.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was just a
it's just
collision of worlds.
It doesn't, it's great on both parts. The creative DNA in each person is a little different, So, and that's what I was talking about, finding like-minded people like you guys. Your creative DNA needs to be, willing and have a mutual vision, that can make this stuff happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, all those guys that play with Miles, like you're talking about,
Yeah.
they could all read, but he would make them
No,
not
yeah,
read.
yeah, exactly. Just do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw Marcus Miller's interview once, and I don't remember this. This will be approximate, And he's like, Miles is like, "This is a G," So Marcus is playing all shit in G,
Yeah.
He goes, "No, I said it's just a G." So he goes, "Shit, okay, G."
just yeah.
I think Mike said, "No, play it G," right? So he didn't want to go nuts. He didn't want to be simple, but not much direction.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Sure.
when you first told me about this project. I immediately thought of Miles and the way he would structure those sections and give them a head.
Right.
And we're going to start with this. We're going to end with this. And what happens in the middle is up in the air. And then they would edit it together to make it cool.
Yeah.
Take out the wrong notes and
Right.
put it
But,
back
like in a
together.
silent way.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. A lot of those records.
I saw-
Ditches Brew, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I saw even before that with ESP. I saw an interview with Wayne Shorter, and he was saying, Miles going, "Hey, we're recording tonight. You got anything?" And he goes, "Well, I have a book. I'm tuned up." He goes, so he brings his book, tunes to the gig, and they open it up, and the first one is ESP. They, "Okay, let's play that." And they do two things. So then, and then the album was ESP too,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And so then the next recording said, Miles called, "We're recording. Bring the book."
It's a good book to have.
That's a good album title.
Yeah.
Bring the book. You heard that first. I mean, we're calling this The Art of Consequence. That's the name of this little thing we're doing.
Right.
And I think art should have consequence. If it doesn't, then to me it's not artful.
Yeah.
If it's safe, what's cool about that?
That's commercial art.
Yeah, true.
Motel art.
Yes, it is true. I have been in a lot of motel rooms, and I look at the
It's a
the
painting
paint, and I
that's
go,
just fine, yeah.
That's in every room in this
Yeah.
hotel.
Somebody made some money.
Yeah.
There's like talking about Miles, and I think he must have really like enjoyed seeing people uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but also
yeah.
but also supporting them, right? Like
Yeah. Giving them opportunity.
like I heard maybe it's a story everybody knows, but I heard Herbie Hancock talking about playing with Miles, and Herbie talked about there's some festival, and he goes bam, and it's wrong. Like
Oh, yeah.
what he did was wrong, and Miles plays a line
to make
that
it right.
fixes it.
Yeah.
Like so support,
Yeah.
but like pushing people to the limit, and if you're not, I don't know, if you're comfortable, you're going to do the same thing you've done a million times.
Right.
But if you're uncomfortable, maybe something really special will happen, and maybe 70% of the time nothing cool happens, but occasionally something really cool happens.
Yeah. I heard another Miles quote that really speaks to what you guys
Yeah.
do. Is Tail was his recording engineer, and they played something, and he said, "Oh, we had a problem in the studio, in the recording it. Can you do that again?" That happened a couple times. And finally, Miles said, "How many times can you say I love you in a row and mean it?"
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's like there's all these Miles quotes. There's another one, I'm probably quoting it wrong, but there's no wrong note. It's the note you play after
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
right?
Make it right, yeah.
Make it right. And
Hit
that's
it
kind
again.
of
Hit again.
our
I'm
whole
still
shtick,
working on
right?
the second part. Of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is that right note?
Yeah.
When you're talking about Tio, a lot of the brilliance of those records was the parts he left out.
Yeah.
He was able to identify the brilliance in it and edit it together to make it work.
That's what those fade in, fade out.
Yeah. And it was a hell of a lot harder to do back then.
Yeah, exactly,
Than
yeah.
it is now.
All manual, yeah.
But those things.
Yikes. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's something to think about.
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah.
Yeah, you listen to those records and being able to pull that off with the technology they had was
It's
something.
amazing, yeah. Yeah.
Frank Zappa, he had this interview where he's talking about guitar solos. And, it was awesome. He's like, I could go out on stage every night and really fine tune that guitar solo. It's just right. It's perfect. But of course, he never did.
Right.
Every time he walked on stage with that SG guitar he played,
Yeah.
it was a completely
said-
different solo. And
He said that
made it
seems
cool.
a lot like punching a clock to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And I got out of that.
Yeah.
yeah.
But he did write
Oh,
he
100%.
composed,
Yeah.
and made
Yeah.
people play it. No,
The composition
Yeah.
stuff
Yes.
was amazing, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're right. He had another side to it.
I think he was just referring to his guitar
When he was
solos.
playing, right? Everybody else had to.
You had to know your part. Let me do whatever I want to do.
That album, Shut Up and Play Your Guitar.
Yeah, that one. Oh, it's a great album. Yeah.
I still remember some musicians I really like hearing them talk about their improvisation process and how not everything. Sometimes we're jamming and no one's ever going to hear it again because we're just in the room and it's just for us and it's just to enjoy it. But I recall the thought being that sometimes you're like trying this and trying that and nothing's really working.
Right.
But you stick with it, and then eventually, all of a sudden, there's a moment
Right.
where there's this thing that probably, honestly, never would have existed if you didn't just see what's going to happen.
Persist, yeah.
And it's hard to that same interview with Frank Zappa. He was talking about having if you've got a great rhythm section and I'm playing like he's talking about himself. He's playing guitar with a great rhythm section. He's like, you can do things that literally are impossible if you're trying to compose it.
Right.
But in the moment, stuff happens.
Yeah, when I play with great musicians that I'll have a good time, I often say, I can do stuff I can't do. Right, because it's doors open.
Honestly, I believe I play faster, cleaner, like
Right.
under pressure in this.
Right.
If someone gave me a guitar and said, what do you do? I'd say, bring me these guys
Yeah.
and let us get, into a thing, and then you'll see the thing that I do.
Right, right. And they were talking about putting it out there and see if somebody will take the bait or whatever. It made me think about, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I put on Allman Brothers Mountain Jam. It's like 17 minutes. And the communication through that whole jam, they're taking the bait over and over and over and going different places. It's great. And obviously because they played on the road with each other a lot, right?
And Butch says that was like one of the worst versions
of it.
Who knows?
Probably, but it's still great.
Right, yeah. He's all. I don't know why that one ended up on the record. He played that song much better.
That is funny.
When stuff clicks though, and like when you hear it crescendo and then it punches into whatever it is we're doing, like it was meant to be.
Right.
That's such a cool moment. That's like the lean in moment, like, oh wow, that worked.
And there's stuff, there's times when that happens. I've listening to our recordings, over the years, just us jamming. And there are times when all of us, like it was scripted,
Right.
Yeah.
are on the same page, and I listen back to it, and I don't know why. Like it's not like I hear the communication. So that's what lets me know that there's tons of communication that's happening when you've got guys who know each other and have played with each other. There's a bunch of stuff that happens that even we don't.
I've often wondered about that. I had one of my CDs I called Physics and Magic, jokingly, because the joke was, if I understand it, it's physics. If I don't, it's magic.
Yeah.
But what really more what I meant by the title is what happens on a stage with plucking strings and hitting drums and everything is all physics, right?
Yeah.
But what happens between the musicians, it's magic. You can't understand it.
Yeah.
And I sometimes call it like a happy coincidence, especially in jazz. If you're playing a standard tune or whatever, but you get in the soul sections, it's just all wide open territory, and then you play something. And the keyboard player and bass player play the same damn thing with you at the same time, right? And you look over and smile.
It's like, how does that? Yeah.
How does that happen? Is it because we just got fed some information somewhere in the band that we all heard?
Right.
Is it because we're thinking about the tune in the same way? Is it because of telepathy, right? So it just happens that way, right? And like you said, you can't go back and go, oh, there it is.
Sometimes you listen back and you're like, okay, there's that cue.
Yeah.
Okay, we were all picking up on this cue or whatever. But sometimes you hear it and you're like, I don't know why that happened.
Yeah. And you certainly can't plan for it.
No.
But if all those ingredients, like-minded musicians and really listening is going on and commonality of experience and all that stuff, right? Then those happy coincidences are going to happen more often, like transitions you guys are making.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And vocabulary is super important, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like Andrew and I have been listening to the same stuff our entire lives, so we have shared things that.
Who are you to me?
Yeah, right.
This is my brother.
Yeah. We have things that we've listened to together for years.
Where's that book?
Yeah. Yeah. What was it? My brother would. If my brother would change, I would be much happier.
Now, whether it's the Dead or Government Mule or the Allman Brothers, there's those live jams. There's always key points where transitions get made. And again, it's.
And I'm always
what that vocabulary is, who knows?
And I'm always looking for. I like looking for quotes.
Right.
I like trying to quote something that someone might recognize, but not with the intention that we're going to go there. It's kind of just for me. It's just a. Oh, look at that! We're here.
Yeah.
You know.
You know Wayne Krantz.
Oh yeah.
Love Wayne
when
Krantz.
Keith Carlock and him,
Oh my goodness.
Keith Carlock was that amazing thing, and he said that stuff they were doing at 55, right?
Yep.
They were just thinking of the eights for
The
eight
phrases.
bar
Yeah.
phrases, and Wayne would just give them some kind of cue within an eight, and at the end of the eight, without communicating, they change tempo and keys, right? And it all goes to the same place, right? But that's from
His record, Greenwich Mean.
Yeah.
Which is the one that they took a bunch of live recordings and they chopped it up.
Right.
Like, so he edited it so it's smooth, but it was just segment. One of my favorite. And in fact, maybe like fundamental for me in just the improv thought process. Like, oh, you can take stuff that's just magically like happening amongst with a group of musicians and make something out of it.
Yeah. No, I dug that stuff. The other one that was come to mind in that regard was Zappa again. He would have the hand signals on stage, and
Like I've thought about the Wayne Krantz, Keith Carlock, and I think Tim Lefebvre is the one who plays with him a lot. But Will Lee used to play with him. But they've like established cues, and I've thought like, oh, maybe we should do that. But I also feel like it kind of.
But
it's a different application of a similar thought process.
But as I understood it from Keith, they had established cues, but it didn't tell you what to do.
No, yeah, right.
At the end of the bars, we're doing something
it's essentially a thought
different.
that all the musicians interpret.
Right.
And I wonder what those cues actually signified. Like, was it about
Speed up or slow down.
yeah, exactly, or let's change make it more aggressive.
I do think they have like an up cue and a down cue for tempo.
Right, maybe.
But really it was not.
wide open, though, yeah.
It is not. Here's what to do. Like
Do that thing we practice. Right.
like you have to enjoy that. And
I have to believe you, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think like I'll speak for myself. I don't know about these guys, but like I just really enjoy anytime I get to play music with these guys, whether it's in front of people or not. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's as close as I get to feeling like a good musician. Like we're in the moment and we're just making, and I usually record everything we do, and I like listening back to it because I like picking it apart and seeing like game tape, right? Like I look and I go, wow, what were you thinking, Joe? Or sometimes there's magic that happens and I love it, but so I don't know about like I think it would be delusional to think we're going to make a ton of money with this, and I should quit my job. But I think the music itself, us getting to play, is the reward for us.
I don't mean delusional in that
Sure.
it doesn't have worth doing it. That people want to hear it.
Yeah,
Right.
And most don't, but some do, right? You have to keep putting it out there so someone.
I think a lot of my life is being super into something and telling someone about it and watching the life drain from their eyes.
I will say this though, when you play, like for instance, this kind of music, I've always said, if you get some pub gigs or some breweries, and you're just the background music, you're jamming. Every once in a while you'll throw in a couple lines of a Grateful Dead song or something, and everyone will say, "Yeah, that's great. They played Fire on the Mountain or whatever," and then we jam 20 minutes off that, which we've done that, and that's great. But for me as a musician, I would love those gigs all day long. And all it takes is for one person. It could be the guy all the way at the back of the room sitting at the bar that's just like into whatever it is you're doing.
That's worth it, yeah.
That makes it all worth it.
Yeah. When they connect. And it's also a challenge, like playing music in where food and beverages are being served, right? What is the priority, masticating or is it hearing the music, right?
Yeah.
And years ago I found out if people just had to pay $5 to get in, all of a sudden they're committed to seeing the show.
They paid for the show.
Yeah, and so they're there for the music.
Yeah.
So if you find some, small venue that you can, start putting out there to your friends and family first of all, and then get in there and start building an identity on the real world, and which I guess the video.
It's hard to play the hits.
Well, it's funny. Talking about odd gigs, last weekend I was invited to play with this ensemble. I've never played with them before, but it was for a memorial, like someone's memorial, right? It was like the after thing. So I show up, set up my drums, and they have their food set up, and people are coming in. We're just playing some light background music, this and that. Well, all of a sudden, the keyboard player starts playing some Dr. John, like New Orleans stuff. I'm like, this is great, Now it's like, now we're getting the second line stuff, and before you know it, it's not a memorial anymore. It's like it's a party, and everyone is having a great time. And we were just jamming, but that was a perfect example of like you go in with a mindset of, okay, we're just going to do background music, just jam, play quietly, no one's going to care about it. We're just ambiance, and then it becomes just this.
You connect.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's what I love about improv music, just jamming in general. It changes the vibe of the room big time.
Music in general.
It can, yeah.
And it's real and made by humans.
Correct. Because we could cut this entire album with AI.
It's funny. By the way, your microphone is pointing down. Is that supposed to be that?
Nope, it fell off. I got it.
We'll fix it later.
Yeah,
fix it.
What do you have to say anyway?
He doesn't say much.
We'll have subtitles.
Why is the microphone blurry? I'm old.
True.
Do you see this, Andrew? Oh, I got it. No, I don't.
What are you trying
Look at
to
this.
do?
I can't see where it's supposed to go. I'm very old now.
Athena's going to have to step into the picture now.
I know. I'm like,
Yeah, we need a professional.
Yes. All right. I think he's got it on like a corsage in the wrong spot.
You know what that sounds like in there.
Yeah.
It's really good.
That'll be good.
Oh, there we go. Now I can see it.
Oh, he broke it.
Now we broke it.
There goes our budget.
I think it'll pop back in.
I think
This
we need a
is-
professional.
This is no, I got it. I think I got it.
We did that before.
Yeah.
Here we go. Magic.
Did you get it?
No.
I'm going in
He's
it.
like,
help you.
You come in.
he's like, I'm in.
I got something
I
to do.
do stand.
All right. Let me.
I'm really, really good at this.
Well, these clips are, yeah, very different. Okay, let's see.
Well, it gives us an opportunity to open up Joe's
Let's do that,
mosaic
yeah.
stack.
Why you make me do all this stuff, Gene?
I had the Guinness glass.
Oh, mine was. I put mine over here. Yeah, thank you. It's a
Thank you.
nine.
This smells delicious. Brad, you want some more? You don't want anything else. Yeah, that's right.
So, this one might
Andrew,
That's delicious.
I haven't had the mosaic from the Russian River.